Hi, I'm Louisa Sijabat, a registered liquidator and trustee in bankruptcy. So what should you do if you receive a director penalty notice or a DPN from the ATO? The main thing is you need to act quickly. The DPN will give you 21 days to typically take one of three actions so that you don't now become personally liable for the company's liabilities. A DPN can be issued to make a director personally liable for the company's PAYG withholding, net GST, and unpaid superannuation liabilities. If a director is issued with a DPN and takes one of the acceptable actions, they won't be liable for the company's debts. But if they don't take one of the acceptable actions within the 21 days, and this is a fairly strict time frame, the director's home, real estate, any assets in their name are now on the line and at risk because of the company's taxation debts. So what are these three actions and which one should the director take? So typically these include things like paying the company debt, which is usually not a very practical action at that point, because generally if the debt could have been paid by then, it will have been paid by then. One thing to note though is that the director should negotiate with the ATO to see if they can come to an acceptable payment arrangement about the debt. Because if there is an acceptable payment arrangement to the ATO that's put in place and the company maintains the payments, the ATO may not, either issue a DPN in the first place, or if one is issued, they may not enforce it at that stage. So what are the other two actions that are available typically to most directors when they receive a DPN? They can put their company into voluntary administration, or they can cause their company to be put into liquidation. Both of those require the director to speak to somebody who is a liquidator, somebody like myself, pretty early on, because the company actually has to be in voluntary administration or be in liquidation by the end of the 21 days. Now, the 21 days is from when the notice is posted by the ATO, so usually this only leaves the director with about 2 weeks to act. So when are these two options sometimes not available to a director? So in certain circumstances, a director can only clear their personal liability under a DPN by payment. This is where PAYG withholding and GST are reported more than 3 months after the deadline of when they were due to be reported, and if superannuation is reported after the deadline of when it's due to be reported. So what this means is that even if the company is struggling with cash flow, please report your tax debts on time. So lodge your BAS on time and make sure those reporting lodgements and numbers get into the ATO or the relevant authorities when they're due to be done, even if the company can't pay them. This means that should things not get better in the future, that you will leave yourself the option of putting a company into voluntary administration or liquidation as a way of not becoming personally liable for the debt. So the main thing is act quickly, call someone like myself, work out what options are available in your situation and be able to take that option within the time frame required within those 21 days to give yourself the best chance of not becoming liable for these taxation debts of your company.